Portmeirion. It's a little bit of heaven that's manifested on earth. It's where heaven and earth meet. I think Sir Clough said, cherish the past, adorn the present, and that is so true. He wanted to show that architecture could be friendly, not some soulless, bleak, concrete monstrosity carbuncle. He wanted buildings that were human friendly. I discovered Portmeirion in September 1966 when I saw The Prisoner being filmed here, and I instantly fell in love with it. I always say to people, listen, wherever they bury me, dig me up and bring me here and rebury me just outside number 6's house.
Well, Clough Rumsdale purchased the village in 1925. He had been looking for a number of years for an area where he could develop his idea that architecture wouldn't have to ruin the ethos of the area and countryside, that it could actually add to it. He had looked at possibly buying islands, etc., but eventually settled on the site we have here, which is then known as Aber Yar, which means glacial estuary. He renamed it as Portmeirion because he felt that glacial estuary made people think of cold and welcoming, and therefore bought the name Portmeirion as in a port in the Meirionydd Shire, and brought the name together to do Portmeirion. And then he set about in 1926 starting to build some of the properties around the village that we have now, starting with the Angel Cottage, which is located in the centre of the village.
Portmeirion is, I know the word unique is used a lot nowadays, but Portmeirion is very, very unusual. There was only 4 original buildings here, but it was the location. He saw in the topography that we have here the fact that it was a blank landscape for him. In the 20s, there was a very strong feeling that any building, you couldn't really enhance what nature's given you, but he wanted to go against that. He wanted to show that by building impressively on cliff edges in so many cases here, that you could make something quite special. We have this low sort of ravine area in the middle. That is now the central piazza. If you stand on there, you're looking up at the skyline that he's created all around you. It's this bowl, which then goes down to this wonderful estuary. To build the village on a flat would be great, but we build it with such natural beauty as well. It's making it special, He wasn't afraid of using 2 different styles of architecture on the same building, because he knew you can't see both sides at the same time. He was very precise about which buildings should have the aging on them. He designed this 4-tier painting scheme, 4 different shades of the same colour, light at the top, dark at the bottom, to make the place look old and damp, And some people don't get it. I've heard people say, God, I'm not staying there, it must be horrible and damp. No, we painted that way every 5 years, He had all these wonderful tricks. Most of the buildings here, the windows are too small on them to make them look bigger than they actually are. Apart from Unicorn, the windows are far too big, because Unicorn looks like a Georgian mansion design, but to a very, very small scale, and it's only 2 bedrooms and a living room in there, but it's a very imposing building. Clough called the place 2 things: his home for fallen buildings. He was given architecture, and utilising it in this village. And he also called it his architectural mongrel, because the building, we're known as an Italianate village, but the buildings are not Italian in design, but the colours are very Mediterranean. So that's what makes them people think that it's an Italianate village. He was very inspired by a trip to Portofino, and he said that if I ever was to have my village, I want to do it as a homage as opposed to Portofino. We love these buildings so much, that's why we keep them in pristine condition, and it's very much of its day. It'll never happen again. We're lucky that we have this heritage of creative people that have come here, and this is what we're hoping to carry on, because it is a very inspirational site. That's what we need. We need these inspirational people who get Portmeirion, I suppose. That's the thing. People then, they have that creative juices flowing, and then that's what it's all about, really. The inspiration is always around them.
Portmeirion should be a place to inspire creativity. So yeah, we're very much wanting Portmeirion to be somewhere that lives and breathes, not just somewhere where people come and look at buildings and think of it as a museum. Clough was very keen that it should not become a museum, and that it should be much more than that.
It started in 2010, where we started with some small-scale concerts in the wonderful Hercules Hall here, which then grew into this music festival that we have, Festival number 6, which every September, we have, 8,000 people last year here.
Festival number 6 was a big challenge for us, taking such a big event on, something that was very, very new to us. But having done that, it's given us the confidence to go on. We do get guests from worldwide, America, Japan, France, Germany, so it is well known in that respect, and we do very much work on making sure that our standards are maintained to be the very highest level, and we always look at developing them further and moving on with the times to make sure that what we keep is fresh and always new, so that people entices people to still come and come again, but also generate new business as well for the ones that have yet not discovered Portmeirion. I don't know why they haven't discovered it yet, but hopefully we'll get them soon. The place is developing just as quickly as we are, and it's important to kind of maintain that level and always push it forward. His biggest motto, if you like, about the whole village was cherish the past, adorn the present and construct for the future. And we still work very closely towards achieving exactly what he set out to achieve in the beginning.
Half the people who come here don't get it. They say, what's it for? The other half who come here are just seduced by it and can never escape from it.